Crystal Edge Technology Screens. Our second company is BlackSeriesEdition.com. Oh man, so today we went through some channels, checking out and comparing our demonstrations versus everybody else's. This is research I usually have to do anyway to see exactly where our products stand next to other certified companies that develop screen paint products, to people who basically don't really take it seriously and they consider it like a hobby to them. But all in all, it just shows you that our black technology is definitely unmatched, and that we can do things with our technology that, again, other screens can't do. As I said before, and I can't explain this enough to people, it's just one little message out to you, my man. You gotta understand this. Those trinkets, they're nothing, man. You missed the point is you missed the whole picture. You know where I'm going at? I got an office building that is going to be invested to my company because they've done the research. The same thing when I've gone on YouTube and I searched around and looked at all those channels. People who invested in my company have done those same research demonstrations too. They've gone around and looked around to see who else is developing like me. And when they find out that I'm the only one who has technology on this level, guess where their money goes at? It goes to me. It allows me to be able to build a corporation, a business, a future. I couldn't care less about little trinkets like bikes, because at the end of the day, I'm going to have a chain of stores. I'm going to have commercial, radio time. I'm going to have a work crew, people that install screens in people's homes, all kinds of cool stuff. So those little trinkets, they're nothing, man. At the end of the day, if I want to, and I'm not that kind of person at the end of the day, that's not me. Like I said, I have no interest in that. But if I want to spend $100,000 for a Chief, you know what a Chief is? That's a custom kind of like, they're in there with the same feel of Harley Davidsons, like, the big boy bikes. That's the kind of stuff I like. But still, in the end of the day, I couldn't see myself spending $60,000, $70,000 for a bike when I can give that money away to somebody at the end of the day that can use it a lot more better than I can. You don't need that kind of stuff at the end of the day to prove who I am. My technology speaks for itself. That's why I got big plans that when I leave from here to my next stage, I'll have my storefront set up. I'll have my screens on display. I'll have my contracts with other companies. I'll get a chance to go to hopefully we'll get in a couple of those shows, because I would love to go to shows and sit side by side with some of the big dogs and show off my technology at the end of the day. That'll be fun. We have all kinds of projector packages set up. I'm looking at the future, not a bike, not trinkets. I'm talking about a future. The time and effort that I put in to develop my technology, the hard work that I put in, now I'm ready to basically cash in on that technology. And when I get out there, I'll get a chance to be on a whole nother level, which means I can pretty much go anywhere I want. Because again, as I said, at the end of the day, from what I showed you, from the everyday demonstrations of what they consider to be good screen paint, at the end of the day, good projection screens, our technology is way beyond it. So while you're sitting back thinking about trinkets, I'm thinking about the bigger picture. Corporations, a business, a future. That's what I'm thinking about. Something that I could pass down from generations. Something that will give me a mark right here on the earth before I step off of it. And you will still be here thinking about trinkets. That's the difference between me and you. I'm happy you got a motorcycle. That's good for you. I'm not jealous over that. Why would I be jealous? I've never been that kind of person at the end of the day. I have friends of mine who own Bugattis, Lamborghinis, Aston Martins, all that other cool stuff, who have $2 and $3 million condos and all that stuff. I know people have money at the end of the day. Do I get jealous over what they have? No, not really. I'm happy for them that they earned it, they worked for it. Other than that, I don't care. I got something that I love the most. First thing, my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, and second, the technology that He blessed me to be able to have, which has now opened up a lot of doors for my company, and it's going to allow me to be able to show my technology on the level that it deserves. So I'm happy that you got a motorcycle. Congratulations. But other than that, that does not make me jealous at all, period. The window technology that we have alone is worth millions of dollars, because I've got companies now contacting me to get access to that technology so they can display their images in a storefront window. That alone is worth millions of dollars. The black technology we developed, there's none like it. I showed you. That's why I tell you, before you buy from me, go search the internet. See how many people have the technology that I have, or had the same demonstrations that I have. Nobody. Which means, of course, yeah, these companies that we're going to be doing business with are going to go research everything. And they're going to see if they can find another company just like mine that does the exact same thing with the same hours and hours of testing to be able to back his product up. And they won't find any. I'm the only one of its kind. So, good luck on your trinkets. Enjoy them. Other than that, I got much bigger plans. I got plans for private jets, which I do plan. I'm not going to buy one. That's insane. That's crazy what a private jet costs. But I do want to be to get one where I was a corporate account. I can basically get a lot of things that I would not be able to get at all, period. This will give me the ability to be able to do things on a different level. I would love to get that. And like I said, what this technology is already planned for, what it's already set up. And as I told you, from searching the internet, looking at all these other companies, no one has our technology. This is going to change the game completely. And before I step foot into my state, I already have money waiting for me when I get down there. I have the luxury complex that we're moving into, which is going to have 7 of these 250-inch black screens at $7,000 a pop. The window technology that we displayed outside, I got a couple people who have their own nail salon business, restaurants, that they want to have that window technology displayed for advertisement. It's a lot cheaper than LCDs and all that stuff. We have a new spray-on technology that instead of people spending all this money for these LCD screens to attach to trucks, they can basically install that black glass into it, spray it with that coating onto it, and put projectors inside and produce images on the outside of the truck. Yeah. There you go. So while you were sitting there worrying about trinkets, Mr. Bird was building an empire, getting ready for the next step. This is why we put all that time into building that website. Let me see around here on that website. There we go. Now, just a couple minutes of me just walking through the house. Just screen sitting there in the window, screen display, screen on the table with light pushing in. There is nobody doing demonstrations like that. I can honestly come on camera and say that we have the best product on market. When you guys, at the end of the day, can't pass house paint. And it will be tested, trust me. You get out there, it will be tested. You can't go where we're going at. You have to stay in your pond. I'm going to go out and play in the ocean with the big fish. You guys have to stay in the pond until you can show that you're worthy enough to swim in the ocean with the big fish. Because that's where I plan to be at. And I've got the years and knowledge, technology, and God behind me to take me to any level that I choose. All my test demonstrations are right here. This is a monument of my tech. The tons and over 6,000 demonstrations on YouTube displaying my technology on any level. Anything that come at me, we've done it, we've been there, we passed it. Just like I was telling my friend, if there was a grant going out for a school district on what screen or company to go with, we would automatically get it, hands down. What could a certified screen do at the end of the day if I was going up for that bid? We cost less than they do. We can actually outperform their screens, and we don't require expensive projectors. We won that bid already. It's mine. The price alone would crush them. Football bars, schools, churches, our technology can produce in fully lit demonstrations or fully lit environments. Look at the demonstration that comes on my promo right there. And that's old technology compared to what we have now. You have nothing to back your products up, gentlemen. That's the problem. And that's why you're still dealing with trinkets. And that's why you still will be in the small pond. You will never get a chance to experience what the big ocean looks like because your products are basically fake. It just is what it is. There's no anger or hatred over here. There's none at all, period. It is what it is. It's on a professional level. Your products don't work. This is why your websites are lacking. They're poor. There's no information on them. You're strictly set up to take and not to give back. You don't have anything. And if for some reason you have it in your head that you are on my level, where are you getting this from? I don't even know where you're getting this from. This is really weird. Mind you, I can go back to my history and I can show you I was making your products long before you ever existed on YouTube. So, yeah. All your demonstrations, been there, done it already. All your products have already made them. And chances are you're probably making the same stuff I made many years back. Nothing new. You don't accept the fact that black technology is more superior. And yet you want to come after me and you haven't even touched gunmetal technology yet. Where's your black diamond demonstrations? You haven't done anything against diamond today. That's a really rough screen to beat. If you're going to call yourself putting yourself on the map, you need to be able to take that technology out first. And that one is a really hard one to do because it is extremely good. That gray screen paint product is trash. I hate to say it, I'm not being rude, people, but it's trash. Show me one demonstration in a fully lit environment displaying contrast levels off that screen that is at least matching some of the black items in the environment. Show me one. They don't have anything. You go to the website, we've been to the website, I'm not going back to that freaking circus show again, but the website, all the pictures that it's on display is house paint. Sherwin-Williams does the exact same thing. On the certified screens you went to, like Knox and all the rest of them, they're in with a lot of specifications. Some had a lot of specifications, but where were the videos? Where were the pictures? Only one had a gallery, and in the gallery, every last one of the pictures were in the dark. And then we go to the freaking video on YouTube, and you have to be kidding me. That is supposed to be an ambient light rejection test? Are you kidding me? I could wipe that company clean in no time at all. They're based in England. I got ties in England. But again, don't care at the end of the day. As long as they don't mention my company's name or they don't challenge me, then I don't care. They don't exist to me. That's Knox. What's the other company? Goose Screen. Yeah, that's easy. Basically, a gray screen trying to show that it shows a black level. Again, I can't express it enough. You guys don't see black. You see shades of gray. You can't pick up black. It's virtually impossible. But if you really think you see a black level, I will stick you against my screen and I will show you what your screen really picks up, because that's the wake-up call. If your screen, gunmetal screens or any screens out there claiming to do these black levels as you claim you do, I will stick you against my screen and show you that you do not see a black level. Where's that at real quick? That's here. So you consider the fact that my product costs around $363. You can take out a screen that costs $3,000 to $5,000 easily. On the market, I'm looking at probably when I get out there to doing maybe about 4,000, 5,000 units a day. That's the starting point at $363 a pop. And that's just for one of the technologies. We have 5 of these loaded onto the website, not including the invisible technology, projector mapping technology, and the rest of the stuff. You add it up. While you're thinking about your trinkets, I was thinking about something much bigger. And since they've never seen a black screen, and I get the same reaction every time from customers who have a screen set up, they say when people come over, they just stare at it because they've never seen a black screen before. And when that screen fires up and that image just pushes through, I know the reaction they got. It's the same reaction when I saw a black diamond screen. When I was making gray screen paint products, and the first time I saw a black diamond on display, I was like, what the freak? How is that possible? So many thoughts went through my head. How is he doing this? How is he getting the screen to produce white light? How is it producing color? There's just so many answers just needed to know. Never seen anything like that, because I was brainwashed to think that gray and white screens pulled the best color and the best contrast. Not until I saw that black diamond. And when I finally got that sample sheet and I got it home, boy, it was my worst nightmare. But also, too, it was a blessing at the same time, because it allowed me to see that the road I was traveling down was about to become extinct. And if this is the new technology that basically that people are going to be buying, this is where I need to be at. And if I'm going to have technology like this, I want better. And lo and behold, who did they contact at the end of the day? They didn't contact you. They didn't contact Partey. They don't even know who you guys are. And if they do, they don't consider y'all to be worth anything. So that's why they didn't contact you. They contacted Mr. Bird. That's who they contacted. Because of you, they see your videos. They know who you are. They just don't take you seriously. That's why they don't contact you. You're not worth their time. It's kind of like how the theory I explained the big screen companies. And then there's us at the bottom. We're the small villagers and they're giants walking among the earth. They only see each other, that's it. They don't see what's going on below them. They just see each other. They see the DMP supernova and they see the elite screens, but they don't see what's going on down there. Unless you can show them something to catch their attention. But we did catch their attention, because that big giant was walking around and he looked down and go, what the freak is that down there? That is quite interesting. I got to investigate this. And he decides to lean down and finds out that this could be a potential giant on my hands that maybe that could help or maybe cause damage at the same time. They don't see you guys. They just step on you guys as they walk past. But they notice us. They know who we are. That's why when I go into a forum site, they will lock that door right from the door. They don't let big bad wolves through there at all, period, at the end of the day, because we huff and puff and we can blow things down with no problem whatsoever. When you guys, at the end of the day, you shoot no damage at all whatsoever. And the problem is because you spent so much energy cutting corners. That's what these other companies did. They all followed this same exact protocol, from Goose Screen to every last one of them. I watched them follow this same protocol. Ambient light controlled environments, high powered projectors, calibrated projectors, the same thing. Goose Screen took that white sheet of paper and stuck it against the screen, no difference. Knox technology is not ambient light projection technology, and it's not. The environments are way too dark. That's virtually impossible. That's ambient light projection technology. Just because you have one little light in the corner does not make that ambient light projection. Unless you're going to tell your customers, hey, look, you got all this lighting in your environment, but you can't use any of it. You can just use that one little light in the corner. That's not ambient light projection technology. Too easy. I can't even match my customer demonstrations. The problem is y'all just didn't do enough tests. That's the problem. Y'all wasted so much time. So much time. Jamie, you've been up for quite some time. You have. You've been up for a couple of years. And you still show the same dumb nonsense every single day. The same dumb nonsense, same dark environments. It goes back. I can go back to when you first came on YouTube. You show the exact same nonsense from day one all the way up until now. Nothing has changed at all. Your product hasn't even changed. You know how many different forms of screen paints I have developed in your time? How many screens I have built, designed? You haven't even been outside that much. If I look up right now, just for fun, outdoor projection screen paints, who do you think pops up? I've got to work hard, man. You want to get there, you're going to have to work for it. Should have been had those done. This is all me. That's the 250-inch OLED screen. Y'all haven't done that one yet. We gave you that on multiple challenges. What does your product look like on 250 inches? Can it maintain on 250 inches? That's us. That's us. That's us. That's us. That's us. This is all me. 506. Gotta show me something, people. That's me. Watching the game outside at 506 on a piece of plexiglass. They don't have outdoor demonstrations. Let's see if we can find one on you guys, at least one. That's me. And definitely outside. Look at the difference. Look at the difference here on how dark your demonstration is compared to mine. In the dark. Always in the dark with this one. Outside motorized projection screen. There you go. That's me. Front and rear invisible black technology. That'd be us. Painting a 100-inch or 120-inch black screen. That'd be us. Is that top on the hallway? Yeah, it is top on the hallway messing around. That's us. 2,500 lumens outside. That's why I said, people, you get what you paid for. And the reason why, like I said, all these test demonstrations done over and over and over again, all these demonstrations to back your product up, you have to be able to show that your product works. Doing these demonstrations in these dark environments, doing these demonstrations in these using high-end projectors, you cheat the daylights out of yourself. You can never do a demonstration like that because your screen can't pick up. It barely has a hard time picking up in a fully lit environment. I can do that outside with no problem. That's old technology. We don't even make that anymore. Even my old technology is worth millions of dollars. My projector is 2,500 lumens outside. NEC 2,500 lumen projector I got for around 50 bucks on eBay. And you guys are sitting in the dark trying to figure out where the coffee table is at in these dark environments, and yet we're doing demonstrations like this. This is why we're the best on the market. I can put that challenge on that demonstration right there and it'll never be touched. And that's black technology. That's the technology supposed to be so dark you can't see it. But yet we're outside and you guys sit in a dark environment right now. My goodness. Fail on so many levels, it's not even funny. This is what people are used to. People are used to having screens like this outside. This is the normal. See how washed out that image looks? That's the normal. This is what people consider to be a good projection screen. Imagine when our technology hits out there and they see that a normal screen is supposed to look like, well, let's go to some of the bigger screens here. Your screen is supposed to look like this outside, like a TV. See how you can see the reflection of the water bounce off? That's how your screen is supposed to look. See all that beautiful color in the screen? For people who sign contracts with us, and there's going to be a lot of them, we can take their inflatable screens and we can make their screens like black OLED inflatable screens. And that means that when they have their get-togethers, wherever they're using their screens for backyard events or whatever, they'll make more revenue. You know why? Because that screen can fire up at 5 o'clock. When your competition, it's going to have to wait until 8 to 9 to fire the screen up. And even at that, it's still going to be washed out and faded. They're going to make 10 times more money with our company due to the fact that most people are just going to be chattering about the screen because it's black. They're just going to be staring at it because it's a black screen. That's what's going to get more advertised for them. They're going to go back and say, yo, I saw the screen was freaking black. Show me your demonstrations. Again, that's when I said I don't take the time to worry about little trinkets, because by the time you guys were sitting around doing the same demonstrations over and over again, no real test behind your products, we were building a company, a corporation, a business. So when it's time for us to leave and go to the next level of advertising and showing our products off, we can back our products up on every level whatsoever. This is called a black versus black demonstration. It shows us our product against black fabric, black paint, everything you can name. You guys don't have this because on your end it'd be called house paint versus your product, which you can't even pass. Where are your demonstrations at? Your demonstrations are hidden because you had to delete your demonstrations. Now keep in mind, people, as I told you before, we can go back our products up, but we have people who cannot back their products up and their products are sitting hidden away because they're afraid if people see them, they won't buy their products. You know what this is, Jamie? These are test demonstrations. They're showing our products versus black paint, fabric, mesh, you name it, we've done it. Where's your test? You don't have any, do you? Of course you don't. Tons of pictures. This is the Crystal Itch site. This is a demonstration of me painting into a screen live on camera. Black house paint versus my product. Oh my goodness, man. You have to learn to do better, man. You're going to have to do better. If you're going to be competing with me at the end of the day, you're going to have to do much, much better. Certified screens, if you're going to compete with me, you do much, much better. When Goose Screen, what was it? Some company said that the best screen to have in a dedicated theater room was basically a white or gray. No. That would be black technology. We did the demonstrations right there. And as a matter of fact, you know who did that before us? Black Diamond did it first. Black Diamond came in and showed their screen, how it would cancel out that light splashing all over the environment. Diamond did it. He's in there right now. He's still chatting. We're not even talking about, we're talking about him, but we're not even in his room. He's in there chatting like we're sitting there in the room with him. But okay. All right, let's move on. Certified screens. Demonstration we're showing you in a dedicated theater room. Doesn't make a difference if you have a certified screen. It's not going to pull up. It's not going to happen. Black technology is where it's at. Now, mind you, all these demonstrations, I'm going to be doing these on camera in front of a whole bunch of people to watch. We're going to have storefronts where people can come down and see the technology. So what happens to all you jokers out there? We're talking about trying to spread bad rumors about my product being nothing but black paint and doesn't work, but yet we have all the test demonstrations and you don't. And people can come and see my demonstrations right at the storefront. Then what? Well, lawsuit's going to be coming because you better be to back it up. You're going to have some problems at the end of the day. But let's show you right here. This is my dedicated theater room. Unlike Jamie and Partey, this is an actual dedicated theater room. Not that you call yourself, you don't have a dedicated theater room. This is one we built. We built and put this theater room together to show off the technology on that level. Because forum sites I were at, people actually had these setups in there. And the guy was like, well, you're not really showing me nothing unless you really had this setup. And he was right. Couldn't get mad over that. He was definitely right. So I made one. Came back and showed him the demonstration. He said, okay, you got my attention. Couldn't go in there with no setup like Crow and Partey. Partey doesn't even have a theater room. That's a freaking family lounge. Windows and stuff and everything's up. No, that's not a dedicated theater room. It's not, sorry. But when I went there, I was talking to the guy, and the guy was like, look, man, you want my business at the end of the day. You show me something. Because what you're showing me right now is not dedicated. And I went there and built one. Learned a lot of stuff over it too while I was putting it together. Now, usually in the certified screens, in that area, you're going to be doing a dedicated setup. Silver is a bad idea. Gray is a bad idea. Cream paints are definitely an awful idea, and gunmetal would be the best way to go. Then it'd be our technology. You're going to spend some money. And dedicated theaters are not cheap. They are very expensive to set up. So here we are with the lights out. And that screen you're seeing over there is black technology versus certified technology versus gray screen paint products and network gray and all that other good stuff, which means at the end of the day, our technology is better. Now, I heard even Jamie said in the demonstration one time, he said that, yeah, the best screen paint for basically for a dedicated theater is gray. You're a liar. You don't even know what you're talking about. When you sit there and say that gray screen paints produce a higher white level, no, that would be silver. You're definitely wrong on that one. There you go. So let me get this straight. You're in a room and you're trying to see the color green. You can't even see it. Because the technology, with heighten the technology to put in these screens, generates so much white light that they can actually wash a screen out. So that's what you'll be picking up. Oh, do 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 do. So no, that was a lie. Even Diamond knew that one. Diamond knew that one at the end of the day that you have to have a darker screen for a dedicated different setup because you will get light splashing off the screen in different directions. So even they do that. This is the 2.0 test demonstration that we put up as a challenge that we still haven't gotten any screen paints to do yet. Still waiting for that. That's a 2.0. So that's the gray screen paint that when Jamie did the review, he was stuck in a dark environment. You know why? Because the screen would have washed out automatically, and he tried to make the product darker than it was. But yeah, with that one, you are being sued for it. We definitely are sued for that. That's like a $20,000 lawsuit. We're going to take the small claims court for that one because the batch number is attached to it, show the product was shipped out, and we show the customers had the product. So for those you don't know, the fellow took this product. We shipped it to him on a batch number, came out of like a 5-gallon container with a lot of other customers. And for not surprising, we knew he was going to do something dirty. He tried to claim the product didn't work. So now he has another lawsuit placed against him for about $20,000, $30,000, small claims court for this one. So that's going to be interesting. You trying to explain to a judge how out of a 5-gallon container, everybody else's came out great, but yours came out looking like that. And that's the test demonstration that's posted in the link below for that product. And also too, it has a batch number of your product being tested before it was ever shipped out. So yeah, good luck on that one. That $30,000 will be going to charity. I know he doesn't not going to have it, but they'll get it out of him somehow. He's got to pay it. So that's the test that a 2.0 had to go through. And yet you don't see their screen paints doing this, do you? Because they don't work. That's all. Well, he's still in there ranting. You hear him? We left the his page is still there, we're just not on it, but you can hear him in there ranting. No one's paying him any mind. But anyway, this is the problem he's going to have here. He's going to back this up. He is nervous. He should be. He's going to have a lot of problems at the end of the year. It's not going to go well for him. All right, let's see. Don't know there. Oh, gray screen paints. Yeah, we tested his product. He's had his product here. We made it on some different direction. We even made the Cinemax in a video one time. We definitely had the Cinemax. As a matter of fact, we gave it a new name. We reverse engineered it and made it better than what it was and used a 200 lumen projector to blow out his own product with it. Literally made his own product. This is what gray screen paints look like in a max out zone. They are washed out. You thought they were bad, and the lighting that they have in their environment, this is what they look like in a max out zone. Now, mind you, a max out zone is just everyday light. It's the same light you have in convenience stores, apartment stores, schools. This is the lighting you're going to be dealing with. If you can't deal with that kind of lighting, you're going to have problems, and that's what gray products turn into. Network Gray 773 always transfers like that in that environment. So if you match Network Gray 773, then guess what your product is going to end up doing. Now, we do consider the Network Gray 773 to be the Cinemax. It is. I'm not paying 90 bucks for a house paint when the person who made the paint just showed me on the video that I could do the same thing with just going down to Sherwin-Williams. Where am I wrong? All right, so in this one, this is called a splatter screen. So what we do is we splatter the screen with gray paint, and then we basically paint our screen in, and we show you the difference in a fully lit environment, what you're really picking up. These are fun demonstrations. There you go. That's how your Batman dark light pops up. This is why it's in the darker environment, because the screen can't pick up, it can't register. Now, am I wrong here by saying this? Jamie, I know you can hear me because you're chatting in that room over there. Why would I go down and give you $90 or $80 of my money when you just showed me in a video that you do the same thing as house paint? Why would I spend the money for it? Simple and plain. Why? How are you going to convince me, a customer, to go out and buy your product for $80 when you clearly showed in a video that house paint does the same thing? And then, where's the video? Can you show me the video? You can't show me the video. You have the video posted to your website? You can't do that. And the reason why is because you deleted the video. You try to hide it. So why would I go buy it? What would be the point? All right, just wondering. Do you need me to do a video and ask you that question? Because I can open a mic and bring you in. Yeah, they don't pick up contrast. Gray paint doesn't pick up contrast for Jack. That stuff is so old and outdated, it's not even funny. Yeah, if I'm your customer, you don't even know me at the end of the day, and I see that demonstration, why would I go buy your product when I can go to Sherwin-Williams and get it? What can you say to me to convince me that that's you on video doing this, that your product works, is different from Sherwin-Williams? Can you send me the video so I can see it? But you can't. You have it on the website so I can see it, but you don't. So as far as I'm concerned, Sherwin-Williams is network grade 773 is your product. So instead of me wasting the time to go through all that nonsense, I'm just going to pop down to Sherwin-Williams, get me a gallon of it, and come back and paint my screen in. It's the same thing. Tell me otherwise. Now, see, if we open up the mic and gave them the opportunity, which we try to do from time to time, again, we're met with a lot of curse words and carrying on and yelling and saying dumb stuff. And he's got some kind of big brother complex order with freaking Partey. Oh, Partey's coming to get you. Dude, seriously? Be a man. Grow up. What you guys got a clubhouse together with a secret password? It's kind of sounding that way. Your products don't work. One shot himself in the foot. Partey is a perfect example of doing too much. He really messed up. I mean, really, really messed up. It's like having even if his product was good, he shot his racehorse before it made it out of the gate. How in the world did you manage to screw up a company before it even launches out the door? Which I've seen it before, but haven't actually seen it till I've actually got a chance to add up your product. When I got a chance to crunch your numbers, I was like, gee whiz Louise. He literally sank that shit before it started. There's no way in the world that thing is going anywhere. It sank. And the reason why is because he has a 4-code. I don't know why he tried to do a 4-code application, but he did a 4. Well, I know why. Because him and Jamie's product probably looks exactly the same. That's why. When I'm looking at the multiple applications, they look a lot like Jamie's paint. And that's why he keeps saying keywords in his video like, it's not a paint, it's not a paint, it's a very thin coating. He explains why there's separation because there's water in the product. Well, water's in the product to thin out the product and make it seem like it's something that it's not. And when customers get it, they're going to see that separation, and you're telling them it's used as a delivery system to keep the paint from basically evaporating, which is bullcrap. Because again, if that was the case, every time you would buy paint, you would see water in it. So that's crap. But how did he shoot himself before he got out the gate? Well, he tried to do something different. He tried to make his product seem like he was different from Jamie. Because again, it's only a matter of time before people start matching them together and find out they both look the same. So he says his was a stacking system, like you stack these paints together and they would transform into this ultimate mega screen. Problem you have is, the problem is that the items that he calls as fusing together are dry to the touch. How is that even, how are they fusing together if each layer is dry to the touch? Now, if you did it with a spray cannon and you sprayed it on and it's a little wet, you sprayed it in, you sprayed a little bit, you sprayed it in, now the screens are blending together. But still, you're going to have to show a reaction, which means you're going to have to break it down. And this is what they're going to request for you to do. Anyone who's going to do business with you is going to request this. I would request this. There's no way in the world would sink money into your company or give you a contract unless you can back up what you're talking about here. So if you're telling me it's a stacking system, the first thing I'm going to ask you is, all right, do me a favor. You take 4 applications to make your product. Take the first one, complete that. Now, the rest of the 3 or 4 you have, remove one of the steps out of it, but leave the original screen. Hit them all with the projector, and say one comes up too dark, one comes up too bright, one color, then it shows that whatever application he removed changes the effect of the final screen. But if they all look the same, that means you're talking bullcrap at the end of the day. And that means whatever they take out 1, 2, 3, or 4, doesn't make a difference. They're all going to look the same. That's what you're going to have to back up. So it doesn't work to do this on camera. You have to back it up. So that's the problem he has with that. Now, it takes 4 48 containers to paint a 120-inch screen. The average screen size for 120 inches is 32 ounces. That means your paint has to be extremely thick. Because if you're saying it's a thin coating, then you would be way less than 32. You would be at 24 ounces. Because again, it's a thin coating. It wouldn't take that much. That's like, say, if your coating was thin as water and you put it in 48 ounces to paint a 120-inch screen, you would have so much left over, it's not even funny. So there's another problem you have right there. Your containers are too big, claiming for a product that's super thin, that comes out like a skin. That doesn't make any sense. And it requires 4 of those 48s in order to paint a 120-inch screen. I see some people zoning out like, oh, guys, talking about the math. And when we lost on this one, it's really not that hard to figure out, people. You do know when you get into this field, you're going to have to know some form of math. It has to, you need it. But anyway, that's what's going to happen. Now, if I want to break it down for you, buddy, I can break it down into the fact that bottom line is you're giving away free paint. Your average screen size is 32 ounces, which means at 48 ounces, you're giving away 16 ounces of paint per every 32, which is 64 ounces. With 32 and 32, for 2 quarts, that's 32. And then in a gallon, that's going to make it 64 ounces. You kind of get where I'm coming at here? So if you're going to do actually enough paint to cover your overhead, you're going to have to do a gallon in 2 quarts. Yeah, it's about a gallon in 2 quarts. Yeah, it's about a gallon in 2 quarts because it's 16 ounces per every 32. That'd be 32, and 32 and 32 is 64. So yeah, that'd be 2 quarts for every, or 16 ounces per every 2 quarts. Yeah, that'd be about 64 ounces. So 64 ounces plus a gallon, which would be 64 and 128 is what you would need, which would be somewhere around 196 or 192 or somewhere in that area. But yeah, that's what you would need, which means you use more paint than the average person uses to paint a 120-inch screen. The average person paints 32 ounces. You paint way more than that. So you're actually losing profit at the same time. And on top of that, because you have to make 4 individual paints, that means you're still losing money because you're way over the 160 mark of what your product costs. So it costs more money to make your product, which means you have to add money out of your own pocket to make a sale. And then you're not making any money, you're losing money. You didn't do your math when you set it up. So he shot himself in the foot. On top of that, the 4-coat application process that most customers don't want to go through anyway. And then on top of that, the first application looks pretty dirty, pretty sloppy, muddy, and filthy. So the first reaction is the best reaction. So if a person who's never painted, never did anything in their entire life, they want to see somewhat of a good reaction. They can have 100%, they can have like 80% of a good reaction, and they can have like so-and-so, like 20% of a bad reaction. But at least as long as it's more than the worst, they're going to be happy about going the next step. Your product, on the other hand, gives them about 20% of a good reaction, 80% bad. Yeah, so your product doesn't work and the stacking system doesn't work, and then tell your customer that you paint the screen the 5th time, it makes it slightly more brighter, that's a lie that you can back it up. Oh, great goodness, I swear. Out of all the screen paints I think I read on different companies, no one mentioned anything about that nonsense. Now, Goose Screen has a stacking system, but not like that. Their system is simple. It is the primer, it should be the primer, the paint, and the finisher. That's it. They used to have a 5-step system, but watching the video, he said 3, which is cool. But yeah, that's what they usually, I think they would have in their system, would probably be like the primer and the paint, and then the finisher to coat the screen to protect it. So, you know, that's normal. That's something I wouldn't even have a headache. No. I'm used to doing 1-coat applications, that's why. But still, I don't think anybody has a problem with that. I mean, it's pretty easy. You have a 4-coat application, and again, yours really doesn't show why you would have to do it. Like, why would I have to put in 4 coats? Why can't I just do the first one and be done? Or no, the last one and be done. Why can't I just do that one? So unless you can show people at the end of the day that those steps are required, what would be the point? That's a whole lot of extra paint for nothing. And on top of that, consider that also thoughts that popped in my head about the product was that you said that the screen has to be even, it has to level off, 2 to 3 minutes to level off. So like I said, what if you have a screen and you're having a party and some jerk comes along and puts his thumbprint with mustard or food or whatever onto your screen, because things do happen, people touch things and gathers and get together, kids will draw on screens, stuff like that, you know. So say kid draws in the middle of the screen, put a little stick man out there, you come downstairs, you have a bit of a heart attack. The customer, when he paints the screen, does he have to go through that whole entire 4-coat application for that one little spot? Because if he does, wouldn't that make the screen uneven? Because again, as I mentioned this, you would have 4 layers plus the addition. There you go. So 8 coats in that one spot. So that means you would have to do the process for the whole entire screen in order to make it an even 8 coats for the entire screen, because it involves the screen being leveled. You didn't explain that in the demonstration. Also, the containers, are they marked? Like step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4? Because man, that'd be kind of hard to figure out if you get those mixed up. And what happens if you get them mixed up? Is there consequences for mixing those up? Like if I mix up the steps, is there going to be a problem? You didn't even put that in there either. A whole lot of stuff you didn't put in there. There's a whole lot of questions. And mind, this is not just my questions. These are questions that other people had in the room about that system. So, I don't know. That's why I said it's just too much there. You have a graphic chart telling people they have to paint a line, pour the paint down the middle of the screen. Your paint's very thin. There's no way in the world they're approximately going to pour an exact 2-inch to 3-inch line that wide. It is going to expand because your product is thin. On top of that, how are you going to do that on a big screen? You're going to take the entire screen off the wall, lay it down with furniture you have to move for a 200-inch screen? 150-inch, you got to move a whole lot of furniture out of the way just to lay the screen down to paint it. And then you're advising people to remove a PVC stretchable surface that's already been painted out of the frame to push it back in after it's been painted over again. That is not going to happen, Chief. It's never going to happen. These things are a nightmare just to get in when you don't have them painted. I'd imagine painting that screen and trying to stick that thing back in. That's going to be a nightmare. What's the other thing? You said, you mentioned something about a paint pan, which you never got back to that because we know why. If you can put it in a paint pan, why would you need the chart to paint the line in the middle of the screen? That's just pointless. What if you're using a paint cannon? How does that even work? So if I put this in a paint cannon, how am I going to spray this on? Do I spray a line first in the middle of the screen and just go up and down? Because you require for them to put this line in the middle of the screen with the paint. So how would they do that with a paint cannon? Didn't think that one through, did you? No, you didn't. Yeah, there's a lot of them in there. And mind, these aren't just my questions. Just as the video we posted in the forum site, people are like, what the freak? Like, how would that even work? Like, I would have to pull. No, that's not going to work. You're going to pull an entire screen off a wall, drop it to the floor, recoat it, and bring it right back up. Nah, too much work. You see how Jamie got quiet because I was talking about part T. He got quiet. He started doing a click, 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 click. Let's get back to Jamie. All right, so over here, as you can see, these are great products that we made with everyday all-purpose gray paint that we were able to make his product. As a matter of fact, we made an exact duplicate of the Network Gray 773 and an exact duplicate of the Cinemax. Yeah, that's an interesting one right there. Cinemax. This is supposed to be his prized possession paint, but yet again, house paint. You are never outside. Oh, we're supposed to be looking for outside demonstrations, weren't we? We're not going to find any outside demonstrations by them. You want me to go look it up? I'll go look it up. Let's go track down Crow's outdoor demonstrations. See if we can find anything that's outdoors. This is not going to go well. But let's hunt for it. Oh, by the way, Jamie, these are mine. If you want to look at my outdoor demonstrations, I got over thousands and thousands of pictures of my products outside. If you ever want to check those out, there you go. It's in my slideshow. Let me see. Let's see if we can find. Oh, there's some more if you want them. There's some more outside demonstrations if you want to see those. Also got them posted to my site. There's some more customers. There's some more outside demonstrations if you want to see those too. There you go. And if you want, I'm outside on a giant 250-inch monster screen. Yeah. I'm sorry, you haven't done 250 inches, have you? But we did give you the challenge to do it, but you refused to do it. I don't know what's going on with you. How you air playback. I'll get you fixed later on. I got Afro Summer around this side. Afro. Yeah, we got to upload our players. Anyway, Jamie, look. I understand why you need to show me trinkets. I do. Because you need to show that you have something. But you have to understand, as an adult of 54 years old, I don't care. Because I'm 54, I've had bikes, I've had motorcycles, I've traveled, I've eaten at nice restaurants. We went to school for restaurant school, did some time over in Paris for internships. So I've done all this stuff already. It's nothing new. Been there, done that. I think I'm 54 years old and never been on a motorcycle before. Yeah. So basically, you show me a motorcycle at the end of the day, it's pretty sad. Like, look what I got a bike, I got a motorcycle, ooh, big deal. All right, I'm happy for you that you have this. I'm not jealous in any way whatsoever, but my mind's someplace else right now. I'm building a company. I have so much to do at the end of the day. I've spent months, or actually a month or so forth, constantly doing video demonstrations, uploading demonstrations, so much work I had to put into the site, which you definitely should need to put into yours at the end of the day because your site is looking pretty bad. You do need to up that a little bit. Other than that, I got business cards to make. I got business contacts to deal with. I even have to work on getting an office space so I can have meetings. I can have people come down for meetings. So it is a lot of stuff I got to do. So enjoy your bike. Have fun. But like I said, I would strongly advise you getting the attorney and saving up for that because that is not going, it's going to be a very difficult time for you. So I would do advise take that very seriously. All right, I got to get back to work. I still have more work to do. I think I got a part coming in today to fix the 6500 lumen projector, which we need for a demonstration. And then I have to do on Monday a 250-inch floor display with an ultra short throw projector that's sitting 11 feet up in the air. You figured that one out. That's going to be freaking sick.